Are you trying to create time, location, or financial freedom, or all the above? But you seem to just keep letting yourself down. You may be jumping from coaching program to coaching program, guru and mentor to guru and mentor, course to course, program to program, but you just can't make it stick. You know that you can achieve this. You know you can accelerate your business. You know you can accelerate your finances, your health, your wealth, whatever it may be. But every time you go to do so, it just doesn't quite click. It just doesn't quite stick. And you end up just pointing the finger and saying, that's another failed program. Another mentor let you down. Another program let you down. Another course. And don't get me wrong, there's a very small percentage of the charlatans and the scammers out there. I totally get that. But if you know that someone out there has what you want, it's not impossible. If you know someone out there has the car, the house, the finances, the relationship that you desire, you know that it's achievable. It's not impossible. And if you believe in yourself that you can achieve it, that's half the battle. And then the last thing is the juice going to be worth the squeeze? Meaning, is the amount of effort and work that you have to do externally and internally worth the reward? And I choose yes every single time. And I'm a firm believer that you don't achieve goals, you don't achieve outcomes, you achieve characters and identities. And the character and identity that you currently have is creating all of your results for you, and everything is working out perfectly for you, whether you like it or not. And I mean that with the utmost respect. So just over 5 years ago, I was in 30 grand's worth of debt. I had a lot of destructive behaviors, I had a lot of destructive habits. I was a really bad drinker. I used to say I don't have a drinking problem, but when I drink, I have a problem. And it caused me to break down and affect negatively all the relationships I had in my life, including my own. And cast myself back to 5 years ago, I would never have dreamt that I'd be married, have a child, I've got a 3-month-old daughter, a dog, and created a business that allowed me and my family to escape and flee the UK and live and reside in the Mediterranean. We live in the island of Crete. We have a beautiful villa, as you can see, lovely pool, the dog's enjoying himself. And I'm not saying any of this as a flex. I'm not saying any of this to impress you, but to press upon you that if you can understand certain laws of the universe, and I'm going to try and simplify this as much as possible, you can change your reality. If you can believe it, if you can visualize it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Look at Dubai, for example. Just over 25 years ago, Dubai was just a barren desert. And one man or a group of men or whoever it may be had this image in their mind, had this dream. And they could see this image and they could visualize it clearly. And then look at it now, 25 years later, they can hold it in their hand. And they created one of the greatest cities, one of the most impressive cities that you'll ever see. And now there's millions of people living in that person's matrix, living in that person's visualization that he brought into reality. And they're all living inside of his matrix in Dubai, trying to become millionaires themselves. How crazy is that? So if someone can visualize all of what you see in Dubai and bring it into reality, 100% you can and I can. We can visualize a future state of ourselves, a future version, a character that we need to step up to create the next step to creating financial freedom, time freedom, or location. And one of these laws that I want to teach you about, which is the law of assumption. And the reason why I want to teach you this law today is because if you don't understand the universal laws, they will work against you, the same way money does. So you may have read some books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, whatever it may be. And when you start to read these books, you understand that the reason why you're in debt, the reason why you're struggling for money and financially is because you don't understand the laws of how money works. And I was the same. Like I said, I was 30 grand in debt. And if you don't understand how to leverage debt to improve your financial situation, debt will be leveraged against you to worsen your financial situation. And I say that laughing because the amount of credit cards and stuff I had and the amount of financial decisions I made that were, crippling me, Oscar, no digging. No digging. Sorry, my dog. Digging in this beautiful garden. No digging. Come on, inside. Inside. No digging. Where was I? Okay. So this is what happens when you do an ad lib video. So this is the same for the laws of the universe, okay? And if you don't understand the law of assumption and you don't act consciously with it, you're just going to operate from your unconscious mind, your subconscious, and it's going to rule your life, and you'll just call it fate. And unless you can make the conscious and unconscious work together, the unconscious becoming conscious, then you're just going to live yesterday on repeat. And what the law of assumption is that, and how I want you to visualize this and to work on this, is I want you to write down on a piece of paper all of your assumptions about money, all your assumptions about creating freedom, all your assumptions about the world, basically, about health, about people, about building a business online. And if all your assumptions at the moment, or the ones that you write down, the majority are actually disempowering you, that are not serving you, and are actually taking you away from moving that one step further to your inspiring and compelling future, then you've got to look at all those assumptions about the world, and you have to do a 180. You have to invert them. You have to switch them around and reverse them so that you can create different thoughts, different feelings, and different vibrations in your body. Because everything on this planet vibrates at a certain frequency. Even me standing still right now, holding this camera, I'm vibrating at a certain frequency. All of my cells are vibrating. All the atoms in me are vibrating. Even all the atoms that make up this villa, they are vibrating. And if you look at my hand underneath a microscope deep enough, you'll see the atoms vibrating together. And when we think certain thoughts, when we create certain beliefs, when we dwell on the past, when we get anxious about the future, about our lack of, our have-nots, lack of love, I am not enough, there isn't enough, and so on from there, it creates a vibration, a frequency in the body. And there's something called the map of consciousness. And I would love for you to Google this after watching this video. So the map of consciousness is a vibrational chart, and it shows frequencies. And each frequency has a different emotion. Each frequency has a different perspective on God and the universe, has a different perspective or assumption around oneself, has different emotions, and these emotions create different habits and different actions, and they create a different result in your life. And what all these do is they create these belief systems. And you cannot act out of alignment with your belief systems. For example, I'm a big promoter of living a kind of whole food and carnivore diet. So like 80% of my diet is red meat and high fatty foods, right? And I believe internally and mentally that eating that type of diet is the healthiest diet that you can eat. Hence why I moved to the Mediterranean, right? So I cannot act out of alignment with that. If someone said to me, you need to become vegan, and becoming vegan is going to accelerate your performance or whatever it may be, because I don't believe that, and I've got nothing against vegans before anyone starts in the comments. But I would not be able to go meat-free and eat the foods that I enjoy for maybe 7 days would be the maximum I could do it, because I cannot act out of alignment with those beliefs. So at the moment, if you have these beliefs and assumptions that money doesn't grow on trees, money's hard to come by, you can only work if you have a job and earn an income, everyone that's trying to promote online businesses and how to make money online is a scam artist, and they're a grifter, and they're there just to take your money, then all of these assumptions are then going to create beliefs. And all of these beliefs are going to create your perspective. This is like the lens that you view things through. It's called a paradigm. And these paradigms will then present you what options you think you have and don't have. And then based on those options, what decisions you can make or won't make. And then from those decisions, taking an action, and that action creates your results. And if every single day you relive the same assumptions about money, about love, about health, about wealth, and also the same assumptions about yourself. I'm not good enough, I'm not good with tech, bad things happen to me, nothing comes my way, I'm an unlucky person. These are all the unconscious affirmations I was making for years, even decades. Then what's going to happen is you're going to be presented with the same options, the same decisions, and the same actions. And you're basically going to relive yesterday today. So even though time's passing, the sun's rotating, the dates on the calendar are changing, you're not changing at all. And if nothing changes, right? And what you don't change, you choose. But hopefully, watching this right now, this has made you aware of certain patterns, certain tendencies, certain beliefs that you have about making money, about living a life of freedom, about creating generational wealth, about potentially even breaking generational curses so that you don't pass those mental, emotional scars down onto your loved ones, right? Because I want to be the first, but not the last millionaire in my family, and I'm working towards it. But ask me that 5 years ago, I said, I'll be happy with X amount per year. That's not achievable. I'm not worthy of that. You know, there's too much competition and everything else, which moves me on to the assumptions, right? If you're thinking about starting an online business, or you have one right now, and you're just thinking these thoughts every day that there's too much competition, what about if you thought from tomorrow that there is not enough competition? What if then you switched around that I'm not good at sales to I am a servant leader? Nobody wants my offer to everyone needs to hear my offer. And what this is going to do is it's going to change the thoughts and feelings you have. It's going to change the frequency and energy and the vibration. It's going to be higher than where you're at right now. And then from there, you're going to have different decisions, different options, and be able to take different actions. And if you can just take one different action every day for the next 90 days, it's going to compound over time. It's going to change the course of your life. A bit like if I was going to sail a boat from England to France. If within 10 miles of that journey, my compass bears 5 degrees out, I'm going to end up in a different country if I don't correct the course. And at the moment, you may be on the wrong course. And that course is just being directed in one way. And it's just because you're fixed-minded at the moment. You're single-minded. You are stubborn. Okay? I used to be all these things. It's not going to happen. And you're almost rebelling against being successful. You're almost rebelling against being happier. You're almost rebelling against becoming healthier and wealthier in all areas of life. And if you can just do a self-audit on these assumptions that you have right now, internally and externally, and write them down and get a red marker and a green marker and put a red marker through all of the assumptions that you have that aren't serving you, that are keeping you stuck, that are causing you to mess up all these investments that you're potentially doing, because I used to be one of these as well. I invested into 3 or 4 coaches in a row, and every time I made some quick wins, then some losses, and then I went back to zero. And what did I do? I pointed the finger. But when you point this finger, look at these 3. They're pointing back at me. Because when it comes to growing a business, it's quite simple. When it comes to creating financial freedom, it's quite simple. But it's just hard to do. So it's a simple process, but it's just hard to do. It's hard to do consistently. It's hard to do daily. It's hard to do it when you're not motivated. It's hard to do it when you're experiencing challenges and resistance. And it's also going to require you to change a lot. Because most people that I speak to are expecting their financial situation to change, expecting their business to skyrocket online without them changing themselves. And as a great mentor of mine said to me once, he said, Russell, if you already had the beliefs, if you already had the skills, if you already had the characteristics, traits and assumptions of someone that has the life that you want, you would already have it, right? And man, I was not happy when he said that. It was an extremely tough pill to swallow, but he was right. So I had to do a self-audit. I had to look at my current beliefs. I had to look at my current skills. I had to look at my current characteristics, my self-image, the person I see in the mirror, and realize what's got me here isn't going to get me there. So I want to keep this video short. I know we're probably 14, 15 minutes in. And if you like this style of content and you've got some value from it, please leave a comment below. And I can always dilute it a bit, or I can go a bit heavier. I feel like I'm hitting a mid-ground at the moment. I don't want to overwhelm anyone if you're new on this journey. And let me know, where you're struggling right now, or what you want to learn about how to change this, your conscious mind, to become more aware and to be in charge of your decisions and be in charge of your destiny and be in charge of your outcomes. Because if you can change your I ams, you can change your world. If you can change your assumptions about the world and your assumptions about yourself, you can change everything. I still have to pinch myself. I've only been here a week, well, 9 days. 9 days we've been here. And this was a pipe dream for us. Once again, it's not flex. I'm not trying to impress any of you, but press upon you that you can do a complete 180 or a 360 of your life. It took me 5 years to get here. And the people I work with inside my business, it takes them less than 12 months because they don't make the same mistakes I have. They have a roadmap and a blueprint. But anyway, I hope you got value from this today. If you did, give me a comment, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and you'll see more of these style of videos. And I'll speak to you very soon.